Where there are a large number of employees, it is best to save time by importing employee details, rather than manually setting up each individual employee. To help capture all the necessary details to import, an Excel template has been provided in Sage HR. This template should always be downloaded from within the product, and it is vital that the template is filled out correctly to avoid any issues with the import.
From the dashboard, click Company on the left-hand navigation. Click Import. Always download the template from here to ensure you're using the most recent version. The first row of the template contains the field headers and an indication of which fields are mandatory. Essentially, to ensure a successful import, the mandatory fields need to be completed in full. The second row contains notes for each column. These notes explain the special conditions that you must adhere to when entering data in that column. For a perfect import, do not delete the first two rows. Do not edit or reorder the column headers, and do not add any new columns to the spreadsheet. All rows from row 3 downwards are where you can add your employee data. These columns contain required fields. It is recommended, however, that the password field is left blank. The system will then create a random password. Once the welcome email is sent to the employee, a link in that email will allow the employee to reset their password. It is very important that all date fields are formatted as date format in Excel. The date should always be in date, month, and 4-digit year format. If the employment start date isn't a valid date, it will populate Sage HR with the date of import instead. As we progress across from left to right, all further columns are non-mandatory. This means you can add the data if you have it, or you can miss it out, in which case the information can be added later. If completing the rest of the template, you should always pay specific attention to the notes in the second row for conditions and data validation. Many fields are case sensitive, so you need to be accurate with capitalization, for example. The reports to and the time off approved by fields must be completed with a valid email address, not just the name. The email address is case sensitive, and you must check the spelling. Where used, it must match the work email of who they report to exactly as it appears in Sage HR. Some fields will require you to enter specific values. Data entered into the nationalities field, for example, must match the data which is listed on the tabs at the foot of the Excel template. For additional help, you can also refer to the Sage HR knowledge base. Once you've saved your template and entered all the employee data, it's time to perform the import. Click Select File. Locate the Excel template file you've just saved. Select which leave policies must be assigned to these employees. When policies are selected here, the employee will be added to eligibility of the selected policies. These selections can also be edited for individual employees after the import is complete. Click Import, and there we are. You've now imported your employee data. The best way to check the imported data is to run a report. On the main menu, click Reports, then Employee Data. Click Custom Reports, and then click New. In the title, enter Employee Data. Select the fields to include in this report. Scroll down and click Save. Check the details of your employees listed on this report are correct, paying specific attention to the email address, since that is used as a login and must be correct. You can also export this report to Excel if needed. It may take a short while for the data to be imported, depending on the number of records being imported and the speed of your internet connection. You may need to refresh your screen to display the updated directory with the new employees just added. Employees aren't invited to access the system at this stage of importing employees. You only send out welcome emails to your employees once you've set everything up. Check employee data once it's been imported. Data can be visually checked through the directory or the org chart, but the most effective method is to run a report.